Hi everyone! So one of the questions that I get asked the most in real life is, what do you do with your hair to get it to look like that? I definitely get a lot of compliments on my hair, and that was something that was a little bit unusual to me when I first started wearing my hair down, probably like in grade 10 or so. I used to wear my hair down when I was a lot younger, and I got made fun of like you wouldn't believe. I got called like every name in the book, just completely destroyed, and it ruined my confidence like a lot. It really made me develop some sort of a complex where I never wore my hair down, always like combed it, slicked it back, wore it in pigtails. I never wore my hair down because I got made fun of so much for having really frizzy big hair. And then I spent a lot of time researching, you know, how to make my hair look better and what products to use. I've used so many different products, and I think I finally found a routine that works for me. And I just like to share it with everyone else because I know it can be hard to have curly hair, and you feel like nobody likes you because your hair is like frizzy and it's big, and that guys like straight hair and whatever. So just to set the record straight, I love my hair now. I love it, and if you have curly hair, you should love your hair too. It's fun, it's unusual, it's unique, it makes you you. So I just like to make a video on how I do my hair, and hopefully if anyone else is having problems with their hair, fighting with their hair to try to make it look good every day, that you can learn something from this video. So I just did my hair, and I'm going to show you how I did that in the next segment. But before I go into that, I'd like to just talk about some of the products that I use and some of the rules that I have for doing my hair. So the first one is, do not shampoo your hair every day. And that might sound really gross to some people, but what shampoo is it's detergent. So if you look at the back, there's something called sodium lauryl sulfate or sodium laureth sulfate, or some sort of variation on a sulfate. And what that does is it strips the natural oils from your hair, as well as gets rid of anything else that might be on your scalp. So what I'm proposing is that you don't need to use that to get rid of whatever's on your scalp or in your hair, if you're careful. So if you have curly hair tends to be very dry, and that's why it's prone to getting really frizzy. And so if you think about it, you're stripping all the oils from your hair, you're stripping the moisture from your hair even more. And if you're doing that every day, then of course you're going to have frizzy hair. So what I've stopped doing is using shampoo. So what I do to clean my hair instead is I'll use a conditioner. It doesn't matter, well, it does matter what kind. So I'll use a silicone-free, I don't know why I said that. It does matter the kind that you use. So you want to use one that doesn't have silicones in it. And that's because silicones are difficult to remove from your hair unless you're using a sulfate. So if you're not shampooing your hair, you're a little bit limited in what conditioners and products you use, because you want to make sure that when you're washing your hair with the conditioner instead, that it's able to remove the products that you're selecting. So I use a silicone-free conditioner, and the one that I'm using lately is the Tresemme Naturals Nourishing Moisture Conditioner. So I'm using a really moisturizing one too, just to add that extra moisture to my hair, because you can never really over moisturize curly hair. Well, I guess you can, but it's pretty difficult to do. So that's what I do. So I wash my hair with conditioner. I scrub my scalp really hard. I'll rinse that off, then I'll apply conditioner to the length of my hair. And then rule number 2 is only comb your hair with a wide tooth comb in the shower when you have lots of conditioner in it. Do not comb your hair when it's dry. It will get really, really frizzy. And I was so guilty of combing my hair when it was dry before, because I thought, like, you know, if I could comb it enough, I could get it to look straight or something silly like that. So only comb it in the shower when your hair is wet and has conditioner, and it's easier to detangle. So I'll work it up from the bottom all the way up to the top, and I'll just comb it every single direction, make sure I get all of the tangles out. And don't be alarmed if you're shedding so much hair. So literally when I have a shower, I'm pulling out clumps and clumps of hair, like handfuls of hair. And that's completely normal, because if you had straight hair, you'd be shedding hairs throughout the day. They would just be falling off on your clothing. And while you do shed some hairs, if your hair is curly, a lot of it will get stuck in the bulk of your hair. So it'll get stuck and it won't shed completely. So the only time that you can get it out is when your hair is wet and you're detangling it. So don't be alarmed if you're losing tons and tons of hair. That's completely normal. So my first rule was do not shampoo. Second one was comb your hair only when it's wet in the shower. The third thing is about, I guess, product selection. So I already said this in reference to the shampoo, but make sure your products that you're using don't have silicones and that they can be removed just by a conditioner, because if you don't and you're not shampooing but you're using a bunch of heavy silicone products, then it's going to build up on your hair and you're going to get that waxy feel and you're going to feel like your hair is not clean. So I haven't shampooed my hair regularly in years, and my hair is not gross at all. It doesn't smell weird. It's not unclean. There's no buildup. I get compliments on it all the time. So there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're using the right products. So sometimes if I do have to use a product that is kind of going against my rules here, like a hairspray, I will shampoo my hair the next day. And that's just to get it out and start all over again. What's my next rule? My next rule is do not dry your hair with a regular terry cloth towel. So what you want to do is make sure that you're drying your hair with a microfiber towel or an old t-shirt. That's because the terry cloth towels will rough up your hair cuticle and make it more prone to frizzing. So what I use is a microfiber towel. You can buy them anywhere, like Walmart or something. They're not expensive at all. I think they're like in the car section or something for like cleaning windows or like, you know, cleaning like TV screens and stuff. So microfiber towel. I just have this microfiber glove so I can scrunch my hair when I'm drying it. So use a microfiber towel. And then the next rule I have, let's think this through, is don't touch your hair while it's drying. And I'm so guilty of this. I touch my hair all the time. I can't stop touching my hair. But really try not to touch your hair while it's drying. It needs to settle and dry on its own without being played with. Or once you touch your hair, it's going to get even more frizzy. So that's that one. And then the next rule, let me think this through. Okay, so I'm drawing a blank here on the rest of my rules. So I'm just going to walk you through what I kind of do in the shower, and then I'll show you the product routine outside of the shower right here. And then maybe some more tips will come up as I'm talking about this, but I'm just drawing a blank right now. So when I wash my hair not every day, but I used to wash it every day, so that's not a problem as long as you're not shampooing. So just making sure that when you wash your hair, washing your hair means using a conditioner. So I will hop into the shower, wet my hair, and then I'll slather in a load of conditioner. And as I said, you can use any conditioner you want, high-end, low-end, as long as there's no silicones or anything like that in it. So I've just been using the Tresemme Naturals one because it's fairly inexpensive and it comes with like 700 milliliters, which is a lot. And I use so much conditioner, so I just use a cheap conditioner because I really pour loads into my hair. So once I work that through my hair and I detangle it, I'll rinse all of it out. You don't have to rinse all of it out. You can use a little bit, like leave a little bit in your hair as a leave-in. Or you can apply a separate leave-in. So sometimes I'll apply my leave-in as the Kinky Curly Not Today Natural Leave-In Conditioner. And this stuff is amazing as a conditioner or a leave-in, but it's fairly expensive, so I don't know if I'll repurchase it just because I can't afford to. So I'll leave that. I'll put that through my hair. So once I've rinsed this out, I'll apply the leave-in if I have this around. And then I'll kind of comb that through my hair. And then the final rinse that I do is a rinse with freezing cold water, and that's just to seal the hair cuticle. So freezing cold water, and then I will leave my hair totally soaking wet before I go ahead and I apply the products. And I've already said, no I haven't said it because you're watching this before the second segment, but you'll see in the second segment that I leave my hair soaking wet to help with product distribution and clumping. So that's that. And then I will actually apply my products in the shower. So I leave all my hair products in the shower because, as you'll see in the next segment, your hair will drip like all over the place, and unless you want to kind of ruin your outfit or walk around like not wearing any clothes, then it's probably better to do it in the shower. So I will use a hair gel. You can use a curl cream. Just check the ingredients, and if you're not sure what ingredients are good to use, a website that really helped me was naturallycurly.com, and they're really knowledgeable over there about what products are good and what products to avoid. Whatever works for me might not work for you. You might find something works for you, won't work for me, all sorts of stuff like that. So you can head on over to that website, and it's very, very helpful. What I've been using lately is Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Curl Stimulator. In the past, I've also used AG's Recoil. I don't have a problem finding that in most hair salons. This one I had to go to a specific curly hair salon to find this, as well as the Kinky Curly. And Kinky Curly actually does have a gel that's very similar to Uncle Funky's. It's a little bit more expensive, which is why I went with Uncle Funky's. I've also used Mixed Chicks Leave-In Conditioner as a product, and that works fairly well for me. So if your hair is similar to mine, you might find that those work for you. And then if you're looking for a good drugstore brand that doesn't have silicones in it, this is the one I would recommend for you. Herbal Essences Set Me Up. Gel with cactus flower and bamboo, so it's max holds. Because you want a really strong hold. If it's too strong and your hair gets very crunchy when it dries, you can always just scrunch out the crunch. If your hair has really big clumps and you want to break them up, you can just separate them when your hair is completely dry, and it's not a problem. So if you're looking for drugstore products, then I would definitely recommend the Tresemme and the Herbal Essences. And I think this was like $4, and then this was like another $4, so $8. And it'll last you a really long time. And if you're looking for more high-end stuff, then you can go with the Mixed Chicks, the Uncle Funky's, the Kinky Curly. But just to show you how expensive this is, this container right here did not last me very long, and it was $30. So that's why I don't think I'm going to repurchase this. And then with the gel, I believe this was $32. It has lasted me a very long time though, and I do like this gel. I may repurchase it. So that's just my opinion on those products. So I'm going to go to the next segment, and you're going to see what I do with my hair routine. And obviously this is the finished result. So I did my hair first, and then I'm filming this intro just to talk about the products that I used, my experiences with curly hair. Okay, so I just got out of the shower, and as you can see, my hair is just soaking wet. So normally this part of the routine I would still do in the shower, but obviously to film I'm going to have to show you guys. So my shirt is just drenched here, so I'm sorry if that's distracting. So my hair is really, really dripping wet, and the reason it's dripping wet is because you want your hair to clump. And what I mean by clumping is, if you could see these strands here. So I have a bunch of different hair strands that are all curling the same way. So I want those clumps to be very, very large. Then I can always break them up when they're dry. If you have a bunch of strands that are going in all sorts of different directions, when it dries it's going to turn into a frizzy mess. So I really want my hair wet now. As well, it'll help with the product distribution. So the gel that I'm using is Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Curl Stimulator. And it's silicone and paraben free, so it should wash out just with a conditioner, so I don't need to use shampoo, which will dry out my hair even more. So I'm going to just apply 2 pumps of that, rub it through my hands, and then distribute that through my hair. And I'm going to scrunch that in. And when you're applying your product, your hair should be wet enough that you can hear this sound. If you don't hear that water squishing sound, then your hair is not wet enough. And I'm going to be scrunching it to just help my hair form those clumps and take on more of a curly shape, because right now the water is pulling it down a little bit. So there, I have that all through my hair. I'm going to just apply another pump in the back because it seems a little bit drier, so I might need a little bit extra hold there. There. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip my hair over to one side. And I'm just going to scrunch and make sure that I have gel everywhere. And then flip it to the other side. And And then I'm just going to flip it forward. I'm going to mess up the crown just a little bit. And then flip it back. Yikes. Oh, I almost fell there. So there we go. So I have my gel in my hair now. What I'm going to do is part my hair on the side that I'd like to part it on. So for me, that's my left side. And don't worry that you're combing through it to part it, that's fine. So what I then do is I take my wide tooth comb and I'll take sections that don't look like they're clumping extremely well, so usually I'll do the top. And I'll just comb that up. And then I'll give it kind of a shake to let it do its own thing, and then I'll lay it down. Another technique that you could do is, that does not belong there, is comb through, bunch it up in your hand, and then scrunch it, or, last technique, is that you can comb through your hair and take a small section of it. I probably should have combed a smaller section. Twist it around your finger all the way to the end, then shake it and then release it. So do any of those three things just to the top layers if you want, or to any sections that you think need to be more defined. So I'm just going to do that here. Curl, twirl, and shake. Twirl and shake. And just squeeze. So you can see that they're forming a little bit better of a curl pattern. What I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to comb the rest of my hair back so I can focus on my bangs. This is not part of my bank. Where does this belong? There. And then for my bangs, I usually just kind of finger comb them like this, and then do the shake, and then scrunch. And then I'm going to do the rest of my hair, so just working through each section, making sure that they're clumping properly. And this generally doesn't take me that long. It depends how precise you want to be. So you could go ahead and twist every single part of your hair if you wanted like ringlets all around. But generally I don't like it to be completely perfect like that. So there we go. And then I think that looks good. Maybe I'll just do one more section in the back. Oh, that's a big chunk. Okay, so once I'm done that part, what I'm going to do is kind of dry my hair off a bit because I don't want it dripping everywhere. So I use a microfiber towel. I have this like microfiber glove, and I don't want to use a regular towel, like a terry cloth towel, because it'll frizz up your hair even more. So I'm using a microfiber towel. If you don't have one of these, you can use an old t-shirt or even paper towels. I would recommend old t-shirt though, because that's not as expensive as wasting paper towels. So I'm just going to scrunch my hair as I dry it and work all the way around my head, getting some of the excess moisture out. And in this process you might need to flip your head all over the place. So I did part it, but I'm going to flip my head over just to make sure that I'm getting most of my hair not as wet. I don't want it dripping everywhere. And then other side. and then forward. So I'm just pressing it to my scalp. There. So now it's not dripping wet. It's still wet. And then just kind of shake my head to get everything where I want it. There. So, what you can do when it's drying like this, if your hair pulls down and gets really flat at the top, you can take those little butterfly clips and clip your hair up. I'm not going to bother right now, so I'm just going to leave it. But if you're worried about volume on top and you usually get a flat top, then you can use any type of clip really, and just pull your hair up and then clip it, so you'll get that lift at the crown of your head. Okay, so that's it. Now what I would do now is either air dry it, and I prefer to air dry it because I think it looks a bit better. But if that's not possible and you don't want to go out the door with wet hair, then you can use a blow dryer. So I have my blow dryer with my diffuser attachment, and the diffuser just basically acts as a hand to scrunch your hair, as well as to diffuse the heat over a larger area so you're not blasting just the blow dryer and making your hair fly all over the place and get really frizzy. So I'm going to turn that on and blow dry my hair. Not 100% dry, but maybe like 80% or so. So I'm going to just start at the bottom on one side. Okay, so I just diffused my hair a little bit, so it's still a little bit damp, but it'll dry throughout the day. I'm just going to let the rest air dry because I feel like I get better results that way. Okay, so that's my hair routine. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below. And if you have any requests for any future videos, just leave them in the comments below again and I'll get back to them. Alright, have a great day. Bye.